In several decisions of the Supreme Court, the Office of the Ombudsman was admonished for grave abuse of discretion, for acts of bending or twisting the law to expand its powers. I may cite several jurisprudence if I must, Mr. President. If I will be required. And we all know that the present Ombudsman, Mr. President, publicly flouted his predilection to bend the law. Does he believe that these decisions of the Supreme Court are wrong and he is not bound by these decisions?
Mr. President, the new ombudsman intimated to me that his direction is to abide by the Supreme Court decision, and the rule of law is supreme.
And therefore is not correct, and there is no basis for flouting those statements publicly declared that bending the law is all right, provided that he is not breaking the law.
Mr. President, it's a figure of speech, Mr. President.
Mr. President, why figure of speech? The office of the Ombudsman is a high office. We are not supposed to be guided by figures of speech. Our people might be misled into believing that it's all right to bend the law, provided we do not eventually break it. It should be explained succinctly, Mr. Speaker. It should be explained very well that that is not correct. That he was wrong in saying that. He was very wrong in confirming and even affirming that publicly in one of our hearings in the Blue Ribbon Committee. Can we expect that, Mr. President, for the Ombudsman to do?
One minute suspension, Mr. President.
Session suspended.
President, the current ombudsman right now, he intimated to me that he is very strict in not bending the law. In fact, he also intimated that he will abide by the Supreme Court ruling, as he believes that the rulings are forms part of the law, and the rule of law is supreme, Mr. President. So he abides by those principles, Mr. President, and he will carry that in his tenure as the country's ombudsman, and especially in his quest to hold people to account and to put people in jail, especially those who transgressed our laws, Mr. President. So those are the principles that he abides by, and those are the principles he will carry in his duty as our ombudsman, Mr. President.
Mr. President, abiding by that principle and acting otherwise is different. You say that you abide by the laws strictly, but you say publicly that you can bend the law. How is that? Doesn't the public need to be clarified very clearly on this matter, Mr. President? Our people might be confused by that statement. That's why I am asking whether he can make a clarification or he can make public apology for saying that, Mr. President. And this will be good for the country.
Mr. President, we thank the good gentleman from Tarlac and Pampanga, Senator Marcoleta, for bringing this up. And this is an opportunity for the current ombudsman to clarify his statements. And this is actually the clarification that he is expressing to this august body, that he will abide by the rule of law and he will not bend the law to serve any other purpose, Mr. President, or to serve any other being, Mr. President. So,
Can we,
Mr.
Sorry.
President, that's why this is an opportunity, and as he intimated to me, that he will always put the rule of law as supreme, Mr. President.
Mr. President, even for this issue alone, can I respectfully move that maybe we can suspend our rules? I want to hear personally the Ombudsman to say it for himself.
One minute suspension, Mr. President.
Session suspended.
President, with all due respect to the good gentleman from Tarlac and Pampanga, the Senator Marcoleta, we have very, very rarely given way to such a motion to suspend the rules, especially during budget plenary deliberations, with all due respect to Senator Marcoleta. So I apologize that it may not be possible also this morning, Mr. President.
So therefore, we are not entertaining the motion.
We are not entertaining the motion, Mr. President, but the chairman remains fully capable of addressing the important issue raised by the good gentleman.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you,
Yes.
Majority Leader. Muli nagpapasalamat po kami kay Senator Marcoleta at tinanong niya po yung itong issue. Nagbibigay po to ng oportunidad para sa ating bagong ombudsman klaruhin yung kanyang mga nasabi. At wala hong intention to bend the law. No? That's very clear. In fact, ang prinsipyo po ng ating bagong ombudsman is to follow the law and uphold the law. Dahil naniniwala siya na ang rule of law is supreme, Mr. President. So, para lang klaro, no, na itong nasabi niya ay isang figure of speech, pero wala hong intensyon na baliin po ang batas. Dahil ang kanyang intensyon ay ipatupad ng batas ng may integridad at may katarungan, Mr. President.
Mr. President, kaya ko lang naman po ipinipilit ang bagay na ito sapagkat I think even the Ombudsman as a lawyer himself believes in the court doctrine of our legal system, dura lex sed lex. Yung sinasabi nating bending the law will be inconsistent totally with this core legal system. Hindi mo po pwedeng kahit na konti. Tatanong ko nga sana to what extent can you bend the law that can still be acceptable? Hindi po pwede yun. Dura lex sed lex.
At ako rin po, sumasang-ayon po sa kay Senator Marcoleta, the good gentleman from Tarlac, Pampanga, na ang batas po ay dapat ho natin ipatupad. At wala ho yan tinitignan. Kaya ho naka-blindfold po si Lady Justice dahil wala ho tinitignan. At yan rin po ang assurance ho ng ating bagong ombudsman dito po sa bulwagang ito at sa lahat po sa sambayang Pilipino na nanonood ho sa atin na ipapatupad niya ho ang batas na may integridad po.
Kasi po, Mr. President, nakakabagabag talaga. Sana po figure of speech lang. Pero nagkaroon po kasi ng pagkakataon na hindi figure of speech yun eh. Dahil doon sa isang pagdinig sa Blue Ribbon Committee, nakita naman po nating lahat. When a particular witness applied for witness protection program, and the law is clear, the provisions of law on the requirements on how to apply for a witness under the witness protection program. Nandun po lahat yun eh. The enumerations, the requirements are exclusive. Pero sinabi po ng ating ombudsman, then the Secretary of Justice, pinipilit po merong restitution. I advise him that he cannot do that because restitution does not appear in the law. But Mr. President, he insisted. So doon po nagkakaroon ng problema. While publicly, he declares that he upholds the law to the fullest. Pero in reality, it is not being done. How can you put a requirement which is not in the law? And he said that was his opinion. His opinion will not even matter, Mr. President. Does that opinion will even prevail over the strict provision of law? Yun po yung aking ikinatatakot, ikinababahala, na nami-mislead po yung ating mga mamamayan. Pati ang ating processes po ay nalalagay sa alanganin. That's why this is very important na kailangan po masettle natin ang isyong ito. We cannot bend the law. Kasi po, kapag pinanatili natin yun, it is as if the Ombudsman has the power to refine the law or even revolutionize the law. No one can do that, Mr. President.
I am not a Filipino for nothing. I did what I had to do. And whether you believe it or not, I did it for my country.